To understand how the world works, from the flow of air over a wing to the pull of a magnetic field, we need a way to describe how quantities change across space. In vector calculus, we use three main tools: the gradient, the divergence, and the curl. Each one tells a different story about the field it lives in. First, let's look at the gradient. Imagine you're standing on a hillside. The height at every point is a scalar field, just a number. The gradient, written as gradient f, is a vector that points you in the direction of the steepest ascent. If you want to reach the peak as fast as possible, you follow the gradient. Its length tells you just how steep that slope is. In physics, we use this to describe how heat flows from hot to cold or how particles move in a potential well. Imagine a positive point charge. It creates a high-voltage peak in space. If you place a small test charge nearby, it wants to roll down that hill. The electric field, E, is actually the negative gradient of this potential. E equals minus gradient V. The gradient points toward the steepest increase in voltage, so the electric field points the opposite way, pushing charges toward lower potential. It's why current flows from the positive terminal to the negative. Now, let's talk about divergence. This operator, del.V, acts on a vector field, like flowing water. Think of a tiny point in space. Positive divergence, like a faucet. More fluid is flowing out than coming in. We call this a source. Negative divergence, like a drain. More fluid is flowing in than going out. We call this a sink. Zero divergence, the fluid is incompressible, what goes in must come out. Mathematically, it's a dot product that tells us if a field is expanding or contracting at any given point. Gauss's law tells us that the divergence of an electric field is proportional to the charge density. A positive proton has positive divergence. It's a source where field lines spawn and move outward. An electron has negative divergence. It's a sink where field lines terminate. Now, look at a magnet. If you try to find the divergence of a magnetic field B, you get a surprising result: 0. Del.B equals 0. Because magnetic monopoles don't exist, you can't have a north pole without a south. Every field line that leaves a magnet must return to it. There are no sources, or sinks, in magnetism, only continuous loops. Finally, we have the curl, written as del cross F. This measures the swirl, or rotation of a field. Imagine placing a tiny paddle wheel into a river. If the water on one side moves faster than the other, the wheel will spin. The curl is a vector that describes this rotation. Its direction follows the right-hand rule. If your fingers curl with the flow, your thumb points in the direction of the curl vector. If the curl is 0 everywhere, we call the field irrotational, meaning no matter where you put that paddle wheel, it won't spin. In a static world, the curl of an electric field is 0. But if you change a magnetic field, like moving a magnet through a coil of wire, you create a swirling electric field. This is Faraday's law, and it's how we generate electricity in power plants. Think of a straight copper wire carrying a current. The magnetic field, B, doesn't point away from the wire, it circles around it. This is Ampere's law. The curl of the magnetic field at any point is proportional to the current flowing through it. Del cross B equals mu 0J. If you put a tiny compass in this field, the curl is what makes the needle deflect to follow the circular path. So, to recap, gradient points to the steepest increase. Divergence measures if a point is a source or a sink. Curl measures the rotation or spin of the field. Together, these three operators allow us to translate the complex movements of the universe into the precise language of mathematics. By combining these three, the hill-climbing gradient, the sourcing divergence, and the rotating curl, we arrive at Maxwell's equations. These four lines of math describe every light wave, every radio signal, and every electronic device in existence. They are the map of the invisible forces that shape our reality.